All right, what is going on, guys? UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Brady has just ended. I'm going to go on my full card post-fight. Starting off with the early prelim opener of post-fight reactions. Guram Kutateladze versus Cal Fernandez. A lot of people got their predictions wrong. I'm just going to say Guram. Guram was a very heavy favorite going into this fight, and he got absolutely picked apart. Hurt badly. I think it was in the first round and maybe the third round as well. I don't remember exactly, but Fernandez essentially was playing with him. You could tell there were certain points in the fight where Fernandez looked like he was kind of messing around. It was a complete, utter domination decision for Fernandez. Guram, I don't know where he goes from here. He needs a step back in competition. Pretty far step back in competition. I don't even know. Is he like 2-2 in the UFC? I can't remember. I don't remember his overall UFC record. So I don't know where it goes from here. I don't know. Moving on. A lot of decisions tonight as well. Speaking of decisions, and I got a lot of predictions wrong. A lot. So we have Nathan Fletcher versus Colin Loughran. This fight, I actually scored for Fletcher. I'll pull up the scorecards real quick. Because I think the judges had a wonky... I can't remember which fight it was. It might have been this one. It was super weird scorecards. Should have already had this pulled up. Sorry. Almost. There we go. So, one judge had rounds 1 and 3 for Loughran. One judge had rounds 2 and 3 for Fletcher, and another judge had rounds 1 and 3 for Loughran. I scored it the first round. I scored for Loughran. I'm pretty sure, and then I scored rounds 2 and rounds 3 for Fletcher. I'm trying to remember what round it was, but Fletcher had so much control and was doing something with it, not just control and that's it. I think they got this decision wrong. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it. It was a good back and forth fight. This was definitely not all the fights that went to decision tonight were very entertaining. This was definitely an entertaining fight. So, not much to say. Can't take away too much from this. I think both guys look decent. I think Fletcher, even though he lost, I think he looked way more well-rounded. I think Loughran tries to go for big power shots, KO shots. Was able to out-grapple Fletcher in moments. But, I don't know. I'll be interested to see both of them in their next fight. Moving up, we had the first finisher of the night. We had Shauna Bannon versus Kunaj Tumar. I'm going to call her Tumar. I can't say her first name. First round. Bannon hitting her with she keeps doing this weird side kick. It's like rushes in on one leg, kind of like kicking the other one, but not even hitting her. Kind of just like fainting kicks, and then finally she throw a kick. She kept doing that the whole fight. Almost cost her a few times. The time where she got dropped right before she got the finish, I don't think she was doing that weird faint kicking thing. But first round, I thought was pretty clear for Bannon. Somewhat competitive first round, but I think she landed the more volume strikes. She did better. She had a little bit of clinch control time, not much. Then go in the second round, she's kind of doing more of the same stuff, just controlling the distance, keeping Tomar backed up against the cage. Tomar hits her with a head kick. I thought they were going to immediately stop the fight as soon as I saw it. And Bannon locks up an armbar. At first, Tumar's standing, and she got the armbar. She has short arms, so I didn't think her elbow was in deep enough to even get the armbar. And then they rolled and hit the ground, and I think it was like a belly down armbar. It was kind of hard to tell from just watching on the TV. You couldn't really tell if her elbow was in deep enough or not in order for her to tap. Obviously, it was. So, good win for Bannon. It doesn't really mean much. Again, I think Tomar lost her last fight. Brutal robbery, in my opinion. Anyway, moving up. We have Christian Leroy Duncan versus Andre Pulovic. This was a one-sided beatdown from Christian Leroy Duncan. Andre had essentially nothing to offer at all. I can't even think of like a moment in the fight where I thought, oh, he might start getting going off here. This whole fight was just Christian Leroy Duncan. Pressing up against the cage. I don't think he got any takedowns throughout the fight. It was mostly just cage control. But, effective with the grappling, or the striking, the whole fight. Dominant win for Christian Leroy Duncan. Really not much else to say about it. Moving up the card. Bit of a controversial fight. And I got my pick wrong. I got so many picks wrong. I did not submit my Tapology picks. I put them all in, and then something came up, and I left the page, and I thought I hit submit, and I didn't. I want to look at the judges' scorecards for this fight, because there's a lot of people online very angry about this. So, was it a unanimous decision? For some reason, I thought it was a split. It was not. So, you have Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin. I scored the fight rounds 1 and rounds 3 for Tybura, round 2 for Mick Parkin. First round, Tybura landed the better shots. Parkin clearly had, same with the co-main event, Parkin had the speed advantage and was a 10-year youth advantage. But Tybura would just keep hitting it with these kicks, just keep kicking over and over again, mixing it up. He had ripping good body shots. All 3 rounds, he was ripping good body shots. He would dip to the right and then do a nice right hook to the body of Parkin. Landed good body kicks as well. Second round, the first round was very close. Very close first round. Second round, Parkin was actually able to out-grapple Tybura and win that round very clearly, convincingly. Tybura, I think it was probably about 2.5, 3 minutes control time for Parkin that round. Third round, again, similar to the first round, very close, competitive round. I thought Tybura landed the better of the strikes, the more powerful, more impactful shots. Although he did look gassed. Like, after the first round, he looked gassed the whole time. So, I don't know what to say about Marcin Tybura. I saw a clip online during his post-fight interview backstage. He said that was his last fight on his contract. So he is technically a free agent. Heavyweight division's shit. I mean, his last 2 fights, he's turned down the young and up-and-coming prospects. Who did he beat before that? Was it Tuivasa? I think it was Tuivasa. Tuivasa's garbage. If he can't knock you out, he's not going to win. I really hope the UFC re-signs Marcin Tybura, considering of the lack of talent. I mean, you have Shamil Gaziev coming up. He did lose to Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and then they cut Rozenstruik after he lost to Pavlovich. Just throw him up against somebody higher in the rankings. Re-sign him. Hopefully, he gets paid. He's older, so maybe if he does get cut, he can go to PFL or GFL and get a big payday. So I don't think it was that. I thought it was a clear decision win for Tybura. I do not think it was a robbery at all. Moving up the card. Leonard Kavanaugh versus Felipe Dos Santos. Kavanaugh essentially, it was a more competitive fight than the Christian Leroy Duncan fight, because Dos Santos would do some damage, but he would just anytime they went into the grappling, Santos would get out grappled. He was getting outstruck on the feet. I did give him the first round. I think Dos Santos won the first round. I think it was a 29-28 decision for Kavanaugh. Yeah, so all 3 judges scored the first round for Dos Santos. He did good in the first round as far as using his striking, keeping the distance, landing good shots. Then the second and third round, got out-grappled. He just, at one point, did he go for it says sub-attempt. The UFC never updates their website. I think he pulled a guillotine at one point or something like that. It was just stupid decisions. Might get cut after this performance, honestly. I don't think, he won 1 fight in the UFC and lost 3. So I think Dos Santos probably needs cut, even though every fight he's in is exciting. Win or lose, he's always in exciting fights. So it would kind of suck to see him go, but He's not winning, so he needs to get cut. Bring back Muhammad Makayev. Moving up, Jai Herbert versus Chris Padilla. Picked Herbert to win this fight. I switched my pick. Originally, I was gonna pick Chris. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I really did not pay attention to this fight. This fight was kind of boring. So I really don't have shit to say about it because I was playing a game while this fight was going on. Because I started watching it, I'm like, this shit's boring as fuck. These guys really aren't doing anything. Kind of like the co-main event, unfortunately. I was really excited to see Jan fight. We're gonna get to that here in a minute. So this fight, didn't really watch it. Don't really give a shit. Moving on. Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charrier. Got this pick wrong as well. Was it split decision loss? It doesn't say. Unanimous decision. Okay. So, first round, Wood completely fumbles a finish. Drops Charrier, hurts him badly. Then goes for a sub. Fighters do this all the time, and I will never understand it. They have an opponent hurt. Then they shoot a takedown. Or jump on a submission. And they don't have it locked in and keep trying to get it. When you have someone hurt, as badly as Charrier was hurt, ground and pound. Make him stand up. If you hurt him and they're just laying on their back, make them stand up. Get the finish. Stupid decisions. After that, it was a more competitive fight. Name all three judges. Again, this fight I didn't pay too much attention to. It was more competitive, but for some reason I was thinking I scored one of the rounds for Charrier. It doesn't matter anyway. Wood gets the unanimous decision victory, but fumbles the first round TKO finish. Moving up the card. Did I pick Chris Duncan? See, I make the video, but then when I don't submit my Tapology picks, I forget. I'm pretty sure I picked Chris Duncan to win this fight. We had 2 guillotine finishes. I can't remember the last time we had 2 guillotine finishes on a card. Anyway, we have Jordan Vucinic versus Chris Duncan. Calls out Terrence McKinney on the mic afterwards. I absolutely love that fight. Do Chris Duncan and Terrence McKinney. Maybe Terrence McKinney will get chinned again. Who knows? Or maybe Chris Duncan will. Mildly competitive fight. Both back and forth with the grappling. Both going for takedowns. Duncan was able to be more effective with his grappling. And then in the end, get the submission win over Vucinic. Again, he's another one of these guys. They always get these people that are hyped, up and coming, get into the UFC, and they just kind of drop the ball. So I don't really know what I think about Jordan Vucinic. Give him one more chance. Give him one more fight. And then if he loses that fight, cut him. Good win for Chris Duncan, though. Moving up. Oh. Molly McCann versus Alexia Thanara. Alexia Thanara gets the first round. Was it rear naked choke? Yeah, rear naked choke. For some reason, I thought it was going to be an arm bar. Because Molly McCann gets submitted every other time. Molly McCann retires in the cage afterward. Honestly, good. This was not really a competitive fight at all. Molly McCann kind of looked like shit. So it's a good thing she retired. And Thanara took this on like, what, a week or two's notice. And she's able to come in here and submit McCann that easily. I know it was at the tail end of the first round, but still. Molly McCann had nothing to offer. She was doing some decent scrambling off her back. Or defense, I guess you will say, off of her back. But she's just not at that level in the grappling department. You know, maybe if she wants to still fight, she goes and does some boxing. Maybe she would do okay at boxing. But as far as MMA, her jiu-jitsu, her wrestling, and her grappling are just not up to par. So, you know, hopefully her and her coffee shop does good. Thanara, I don't want to overhype her off of this win. This is not like a win I would be like super proud of. Yeah, she's got some cool knockouts in the UFC. She's been in the UFC for a long time. But if you have any grappling or wrestling or jiu-jitsu, you can beat Molly McCann because she's a can. Moving up the card. This was an interesting fight. We had Gunnar Nelson versus Kevin Holland. All my freaking parlays tonight. Lost them all. Lost all my bets. Every fucking one. Predicted it. I remember this. Gunnar Nelson first round submission. This fight was so weird. Let's look at the scorecards. Okay, so all three judges scored the first 2 rounds for Holland. That's what I scored it. Third round cleared for Gunnar Nelson. Was able to outgrapple Holland in the third round. He was able to outgrapple Kevin Holland in the first and the second round. So start off in the first round. It was on the feet for a little bit. Holland was landing, getting slightly better at the exchanges. Nelson was then able to get the takedown. He ended up in like an omoplata, but Holland was in the air. Holland constantly going for submissions off of his back. So Nelson was not really able to get much offense in the first round. Eventually, towards the end of the first round, Holland does work his way back up to his feet. And with like 10 seconds left, drops Nelson badly. Almost has him out of there. If there was 10 to 15 more seconds left, Holland would have finished Gunnar Nelson. Actually, I think I switched my pick last minute, didn't I? I think I picked Kevin Holland first round KO. So I was pretty close to getting that right. I can't remember if I switched my pick last minute. I think I did. So I think Holland definitely stole the first round with dropping Nelson that badly. Then goes into the second round, gets taken down pretty easily. But Nelson does nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. He's just recovering is all he's doing. You can tell he's still not all there in the second round. Holland was doing damage off his back. Elbows, punches, and Nelson was just holding on. He didn't go to really advance the position. He didn't throw any ground and pound. He didn't look for a submission in the second round. So I gave Holland the second round off of his back, doing damage, which doesn't happen very often. Third round, Holland gets out grappled for the third round. You can tell Nelson's, back in there. He cleared the cobwebs off, recovered from getting dropped so badly in the first round, and comes back and wins the third round. I thought they might give the fight to Nelson before they announced it, just due to the optics of that second round, where Holland got controlled for most of the second round, even though he was doing damage off his back. I thought they were going to lean towards Nelson due to the control time, but they didn't. Kevin Holland gets back in the win column against decent opposition in Gunnar Nelson. Holland, if he wants to take his career seriously at all, which he doesn't, he just needs to stay at 170. Paul is to come back in, I think, July. So maybe we'll see Kevin Holland back there in July versus somebody else at 170. Moving up the card, the co-main event was absolutely garbage. People are saying this was a robbery, that Jan should have won. Let's pull up the official scorecards. I scored it round 1 for Jan. We have two judges gave Jan the first round. And see, these scorecards are all weird. So it was 29-28 across the board. 2 judges gave Olberg round 2 and 3. 1 judge gave Olberg rounds 1 and 2 and gave Jan round 3. I think round 3 was very clear Carlos Olberg round. Round 2 is more competitive. The first round I gave to Jan solely based on leg kicks. Neither of them really did anything. Jan landed some good leg kicks in the first round, so I scored the first round to Jan. Second round was, again, they didn't really do much. This was a boring ass fight. I gave it to Olberg barely. He was doing more, but what he was doing wasn't really impactful. Like, he was just like little tappity kicks and punches. Nothing super impactful. But Jan wasn't doing anything either. Third round, again, probably the most competitive round, the most active round of the fight. And Jan's not really doing much. And Olberg is doing more, but again, it's mostly just little pitter-patter shots. They don't really do any damage. He might have got cut somehow. I don't remember how he got cut, Jan, that is. But again, Olberg gets the win. Book Olberg versus Yuri. That's probably going to be my fights to make video. And then we'll do Ankalaev and Pereira rematch. And then the winner of Ulberg Yuri can fight Ankalaev, the winner of Ankalaev Pereira, for the light heavyweight title. I think Jan's probably done. Maybe we'll get him in here one more time. If he loses that, he'll probably retire. I still think he can definitely beat some of these guys in the top 5, 10 of that light heavyweight division. So we'll see what I come up with in my fights to make video for Jan Blachowicz. Very boring fight, and a very lackluster win for Carlos Ulberg. Moving up the main event, that I could have not gotten it more wrong in my prediction. Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. Sean Brady gets the 4th round guillotine. Absolute domination. Complete domination, shutout performance for Sean Brady. First round, they start off coming out hot. Both of them swinging. First round was just striking. There really wasn't much of grappling. A little bit of clinching. But let's see what the judges scored the first round. I scored the first round for Brady. Let's see if they have it up. Yep. This is what we're going to need to get into here. These scorecards. These scorecards kind of pissed me off. Not going to lie. So first round, I thought it was clear Brady round. He outstruck Leon on the feet. Again, in their grappling, they didn't really, it was just clinching. They didn't really do much. But it was a competitive first round. But I thought it was clearly for Brady. Second and third round, Brady absolutely dominated Leon. Got him down, controlled him the entire round, doing heavy ground and pound, looking for submissions the whole time, always looking to finish the fight. Cardio looked good. I scored rounds 2 and rounds 3 because they were essentially the same round. I think round 3, it took him a little bit longer. The second round, I think it was within 30 seconds, Brady had him down. I scored 2 10-8s in a back-to-back. They were complete domination. Ground and pound, looking for submissions. Total control. All 3 judges, 10-9. For all 3 rounds for Brady. 9. 10-9, 10-9, 10-9. If those weren't 10-8 rounds, I don't know what was. Because he was controlling Leon essentially the entire round of the second and third round. So, great win for Sean Brady. Fuck Shavkat. Do Sean Brady versus the winner of Bilal JDM. Book him next. If it's going to take too long, because Shavkat's still out, we'll do Brady versus Buckley for a number 1 contender fight. That would be a great fight. If Brady does not get the rematch with Bilal, because unless JDM gets some fluke KO, Bilal's going to dominate JDM. So book the rematch. Sean Brady versus Bilal Muhammad 2. Fuck Shavkat. Make him fight again. Or, make him fight Buckley. Great win for Sean Brady. Leon Edwards, he's done, man. He's never going to be, I don't think he's ever going to fight for a title again. He's got nothing but, everybody knows how to beat him now. I think Ian Gary could probably out-grapple him. I think Shavkat could out-grapple him. I think he's slowly just going to trickle down the rankings. And he's not super old. I think he's, like 34? I don't remember how old he is. He's probably going to stay around. He's definitely a top 5 welterweight. But he's never going to get a title shot again. He'll never work his way back. It's just too many grapplers. And that's clearly a big hole in Leon Edwards' game. Let me know, what did you guys think of this card? Was it a decent card? What did you think of that main event? What do you think Sean Brady has in his future as far as in the UFC? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to subscribe if you guys are not subscribed. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers this year. Drop a like on the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.